Okay, how are you guys all doing today?
Good.
Fantastic. Okay, my name is Ruan. I'm from South Africa. And have you guys got any questions for us?
Tell us everything that you do on board and the classes that you offer and specials that you have and everything.
Okay, well, first of all, we open every single day from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. The hours for the gym are, you can basically come on any time during it. It's just to either use the machines out there that you see. So that's all the fitness equipment. The treadmills in here, you can use them whenever you want to as well. Okay, obviously these treadmills we have available only during certain times because we have the seminars, the classes and everything in here. So we don't want too much noise. Okay, so if you guys want to, you can just ask us and see whether you want to use them or not. Then we have the different classes. We have specialized classes, which are yoga, spinning or Pilates, as well as complementary classes, which range from abdominal classes, stretch classes, and just basically like a circuit training class. Okay, so we run those classes every single morning, starting at 8 o'clock, running right through. It starts off with the circuit training, and then we do the stretch class, and then we do a core conditioning class, or tums and bums, something like that. And from there we go into the specialty classes of the yoga, spinning, or Pilates. Just depends on the day, will depend on obviously what. Normally our four main seminars are secrets to a flatter stomach, detox for health and weight loss, burn fat fast, as well as eat more to weigh less. Then what we've done through this cruise, because it's a longer cruise, we've added in other seminars such as lose 10 pounds in 10 days and getting better with age and a whole lot of other seminars.
How do you find working on board?
It's fantastic. It's awesome.
How long have you been on board?
7 months and a couple of days.
So you're ready to get off?
I got extended a month, so,
did you?
so that I could get back to Alaska.
Oh, okay.
And then, because I got on in Alaska and we're getting off there.
And where did you get on?
In
Alaska?
Vancouver.
Vancouver, okay. Are you coming back for another cruise? Or?
I hope so. That's if they want me back.
Yeah, good. Have you saved lots of money?
No, not really.
Have you earned lots of money?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay.
It's just like through Asia we're spending quite a bit, and also in Australia buying a lot of clothes.
Because you're from South Africa,
Yeah.
guys.
So it's
different
pretty
stuff.
cool.
So have you had to say something to people who were thinking of coming to work on cruise ships as a fitness instructor? What would you tell them?
What would I tell them?
Is it what you expected?
It's
No? It's okay.
It's not what I expected. It's completely different. What anybody said to me was nothing compared to what I'm experienced. It's a fantastic life experience. Something that I would recommend to anybody starting off their life, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe for somebody that's looking at getting further in their life, definitely get going.
What would you, if before anybody had actually got on to work on the ship, what would you tell them to go away and study or learn? What do you think would be the most important thing to
As a
prepare
fitness
them?
director?
Yeah, as a fitness director, to prepare them before they come on board.
As a fitness director, study nutrition.
Yeah.
Personal training is personal training, doesn't matter where you go. Nutrition, and try and get into some sort of either natural healing. Okay, because as we go through the contract, we obviously find out about how everything affects us from the outside. So finding the natural ways of doing what we could do chemically, it is not
So
there.
how much time do you spend on board actually personal training or doing any kind of physical workout classes, and how much time do you spend doing more seminars and lifestyle consultations and that kind of thing?
Probably lifestyle consultations, seminars and that we spend about probably about 60 to 70% of the time, and then the rest of the time is classes and PT. Personal training was actually not that big a deal for most people. They come on the ship not to get personal training because I either have one at home.
That's this particular ship,
Yeah.
you would say? What's the age group on here?
For the time that I've been on here, so between 50 and 70. That's for the last 7 months.
Yeah. So it's more functional fitness?
Yeah,
Yeah.
more. That's with the PT sessions that we have done. We haven't had many PT sessions, honestly. So people have either had their own personal trainer or they just didn't want to go.
Thank you very much. You'll find this up on YouTube.
Okay, so far I'm having a pretty good time. I've seen a lot of the world. Definitely getting a little tired. It's not something that you can just walk away at any time and do long days, but I think it's definitely worth it. Seeing lots of signs. Financially, I'm doing more money than I actually expected, so
Really?
that's a bit of a bonus.
Is
So
that from
definitely.
tips tips or commission?
I think commission. Yep,
Yeah,
I think that because of my background in nutrition, I think I just sort of picked it up straight away. So I am making quite good money.
Do you think that nutrition knowledge has really helped you?
I
Would you
think
recommend?
anybody that comes onto the ship needs to know more about nutrition. Okay, with the other fitness director that we had on board the ship wasn't quite as advanced in nutrition, so it's taken him a long time to get into it. So you definitely need to know more about it. Like I didn't realise when I first decided to get on cruise ships that it would be more specific to nutrition.
Why do you think that is? Is it because of your clientele, or is it just?
I think it's just I don't know. I think it must be just the clientele. It's just that people are, only here for a short period of time. So there's not personal training as much. It's more education, nutrition, what you can do, talking about exercising and everything.
So would you say in general the clients are they American?
I would say 60%.
American.
Oh, actually, it depends where you are in the world, but like since we're like in Asia, there was a lot of Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, then when we hit Australia, I reckon there's probably 60% of being Australians, to be honest. So,
Okay, would you come back for another contract?
I think so. I'm already contracted on the Caribbean, I think, next, so I'm going to have a few weeks off. But yeah, no, I've had a good time.
And where did you study? Where did you learn?
I studied at the Australian Institute of Fitness in Perth, and I ran my own business for about 5.5 years, and then I got so run down that I just wasn't ready to buy a house and settle down and things like that. That's why I decided to travel. I went and spent 3 months in New York City, then I went and spent 12 months in Canada where I studied with a sports nutritionist, and that's what got me. And then always wanted to do cruise ships, and the only thing that stopped me, to be very honest, was the thing that I had to do with aerobics. So I wasn't really keen on doing aerobics, so I thought,
How's that been?
that's why I never actually applied to get on a cruise ship. And then when I was still in Canada, I still wasn't ready to come home, so I thought, you know what, it's just going to make me step outside the square, so that's what I did. And then being on this ship, we're not allowed to teach aerobics, so it was probably a good thing. But that's why I didn't do it. So
really?
when Steiner was good.
Got group fitness because you have to.
Oh yeah, I did group
hey?
fitness when I first studied, but I never did it. I did mostly boxing, kickboxing and things like that, so I never taught classes. It was all PT. Like I had 70 clients a week, so I was just, there's no time to
Right.
pointless me
So
doing that.
you don't actually think that that's a major thing on the ships anyway? You're teaching mostly lifestyle classes?
I think so. Yeah, circuit classes, stretching, just stress relief. And, like a lot of people do ask us about it. When I mean a lot, I'm probably talking maybe 5%, so that's not a huge deal. A lot of people really love the indoor cycling. I think that's where they get their most of their high intensity cardio.
So what would you say to anyone who was in that situation? Because a lot of guys, especially they're predominantly PT and they're worried about the teaching the classes. What would you advise them? What would you say?
Just depends what you want to do. If you want to, I did it simply because I wasn't ready to come home and it was going to make me step outside this grid. Like I can't dance, and I was going to try. I remember the interview that I had, but I think it depends on the ship. I personally I did it because I wanted to. I think if you're not into it, don't worry about it too much because it really depends on the ship that you go to anyway. I think it's definitely worth the experience. I'm going to do another ship. I'll probably do another one after that. My goals is to obviously get my own health store and study detoxing more and things like that. So this is the only way that I feel that I could probably get a good money base because we've got no expenses at all.
You sound pretty focused. What would you say is the biggest learning experience since you've been on board?
I don't know actually. Just not being able to get off the ship and go and kick the footy with my friends or go to the movies or do whatever, I think you get stuck on the ship. It's not, as I said, that's probably the only downside is you can't just get off whenever you feel like it.
Whenever you want.
But I think that's the biggest learning experience. Like when I get mad because I'm tired or whatever, I've got to learn to just get on with it and get over it, go back to my cabin and go for a room. So I think
deal with it.
Yeah. And you're with different cultures as well.
Yeah.
That's probably.
You found you become more. You said you were already quite business minded anyway before you got on. But do you think it's a very business driven system or?
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah, I think you got to have values. You got to have some goals. Or you're never going to make it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think so. They talk more about just teaches you to become a salesman.
Good.
To be very honest. Yeah. I like it. It's got me fit. Body fat's down to about 9% now, so that's pretty cool. So yeah. So no, it's good.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Good. Thank you very much.
No worries.
The most